Hello, neighbor. I'm going to be giving you guys my review for A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood. And as a lot of you know, it is based off of Mr. Rogers, but it is not a movie, a usual biopic where it shows you how the person becomes who we know they are. It's really focused on a journalist who wants to write an article, who is assigned to write an article on Mr. Rogers, and it shows us how they develop, their friendship, like from there on, and how that changed this man's life meeting Mr. Rogers. And I gotta tell you, man, like I just gotta say Mr. Rogers, like himself, like I mean, before I looked up to any man in my life, before I even looked up to my own dad, I looked up to this man. Before I looked up to any fictional character, it was Mr. Rogers first. I mean, he was the first, first man I ever looked up to. I mean, I just, he's like one of the most brightest gems in my childhood. And when I heard that they were gonna do this movie, I'm like, if they cannot, like what is said in this movie, don't ruin my childhood. And I'm like, don't ruin my childhood. I mean, I hope that this movie is really good. And I was dangerously having good expectations, with this movie, and thankfully they were met. And and like when they said that Tom Hanks was gonna play Mr. Rogers, I didn't really think years back. I mean, he, if they don't pick him to be, like Mr. Rogers in a biopic or something at some point, then they were gonna lose their minds. I mean, I didn't even think who could play him, like if they were to do that. But when they said that they chose him, I was like, okay, it could work. And as the trailers came out and we see photos, I'm like, yeah, I don't see it not working. And there were times where in his portrayal, I felt like I wanted to talk to him about my personal problems. I mean, I'm sure a lot of you, it's no surprise that he did a good job as Mr. Rogers. And while it is, this movie is more so just as much as the journalist's story as it is Mr. Rogers, even though at the end of the day, I think a lot of us are going to step into that movie theater to see Mr. Rogers. And, man, I mean, it really, it's really inspiring. And it makes you want to be a better person, you know what I mean? Every time I step near anything that has anything to do with Mr. Rogers, I just think wow, I mean, I just want to be a better person. And I just feel like I should just I don't know. I mean, it's really well done. And the way that this movie is done, it really does feel like we are in Mr. Rogers' world. And it feels like we stepped into his world with this journalist, and he is going through his own inner turmoil, and Mr. Rogers can see that, and you can see it's in his nature to want to help somebody, and with this journalist, he really is unattached and closed off, and he doesn't want to let people in. He doesn't even let his own wife in. He just keeps everybody shut out in what he's going through. And so to see him go through that, and to see Mr. Rogers try to basically try to trying to have this guy let him in and just try to help out while they're while they're getting to know each other. And it's hard to try to keep out, shut out a man who's as heartwarming as Mr. Rogers. I mean, I would just let him in instantly. Like I said, I would want to tell him about my problems, and just because that's just you know, because I like that's the guy I looked up to before I looked up to anybody. So yeah, this movie really did own, basically captured that light in the bottle that Mr. Rogers had, and that warmth that he always had. You know, it lives on through us, and Tom Hanks did a really good job capturing that. And I'd say you're crazy if you don't go see this movie. Um, yeah, I mean, like, get off your butts and go see this movie. So, with that all being said, I'm going to give A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood 4 chair spins out of 5. So, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4 chair spins. So, yeah, I mean, like, just revisiting that movie, it had me speechless in a positive way. And like as I'm like trying to look back on it and really think about it, I'm just like, wow, it really had me speechless. I mean, like, I mean, it's a good movie. I mean, you need to go and see it. It's a good movie for the family to go see, and really does. And I think you can kind of identify with this journalist too, like like what he's going through, and it may inspire you to want to try to think about whatever you're going through, and just try to just don't be afraid to just try to like work stuff out and stuff. But yeah, definitely, like I said, go see this movie. If you guys enjoyed my review for A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood, make sure you thumb up this video. And make sure you click subscribe if you're new to the channel. And make sure you click that notification bell so you can be updated on my latest videos. Thank you for watching, and I will see you guys in my next video. Peace out, guys.